She's already decided about you before you opened your mouth, before you said your name, before you even noticed her looking. 10 seconds. That's all it took. And most men have absolutely no idea what she actually saw. It wasn't your car parked outside. It wasn't your job title. It wasn't the brand stitched into your collar. It was something far more primal, far more instant, and far more brutal than anything you've been told to focus on. Here's what actually works. This isn't dating advice from someone who read a blog post. This is perception psychology. The same principles studied in behavioral economics, evolutionary biology, and high-level executive coaching. The same forces that allow a CEO to command a boardroom before uttering a single syllable are the exact same forces that dictate how a woman reads you in under 10 seconds. Harvard published a study on thin slicing, the human brain's ability to make sweeping judgments from razor-thin fragments of experience. 10 seconds of observation, that's all we need to form opinions on competence, trustworthiness, and status. And those snap judgments? They're accurate far more often than we'd like to admit. This is insider knowledge most men never access, not because it's hidden, but because they're too distracted by the wrong details. Let's fix that, signal by signal. Signal number 1, your posture. This is the loudest thing about you that makes no sound. Rounded shoulders, forward neck, collapsed chest, that's not relaxation, that's resignation. It signals defeat before the interaction even begins. Here's the science behind it. Evolutionary psychologists have long understood that humans, particularly women, are hardwired to read body structure as a proxy for genetic fitness and social rank. Thousands of years ago, a man who stood tall was a man who had survived. A man who was hunched was injured, weak, or submissive. That wiring hasn't changed. It lives in the limbic system, operating beneath conscious thought. A woman doesn't think, oh, he has bad posture. She feels low status, instinctively, unconsciously, in a fraction of a heartbeat. What works? Shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground, chest open, not rigid, not military, not performative, controlled. It signals one thing. This man is not afraid to take up space. That's dominance without aggression, authority without confrontation, and women read it before your mouth ever opens. Yep. Signal number 2. You're grooming, not your looks. She's not checking if you're a model. She's checking if you care. This is where most men fundamentally misunderstand female perception. Studies in evolutionary psychology consistently show that women place significantly more weight on indicators of investment than on raw physical symmetry. Why? Because grooming is a choice. Genetics aren't. And choices reveal character. Unkempt nails, neglected skin, a beard that looks like it lost a fight with itself. These aren't style problems. They're discipline problems. And discipline, or the visible lack of it, is readable in 3 seconds flat. A woman sees clean, shaped facial hair and subconsciously registers. This man has a routine. He maintains himself. He pays attention to details others ignore. If he treats himself with this level of care, how will he treat me? How will he treat his career, his home, his commitments? That's the chain reaction one grooming choice triggers. It's never just about the beard. It's about what the beard represents. Clean skin, trimmed nails, shaped eyebrows. Yes, eyebrows. Moisturized hands. This isn't vanity. This is the visual language of a man who handles the small things. Because men who handle small things are trusted with large ones. The unexpected insight? Women notice grooming before they notice your face. The maintenance signals more than the genetics ever will. You won't hear this in most style channels. Signal number 3. Your shoes. Not the brand, not the price tag, the condition. A woman glances down, and it's faster and more instinctive than you think, and she reads one of 2 stories. Either this man finishes what he starts, or he cuts corners when he thinks nobody's watching. Why shoes? Because shoes are the most neglected part of most men's outfits. They're the last thing men check and the first thing perceptive people notice. And that asymmetry makes them the ultimate honesty test. Scuffed, dirty, worn-down shoes on an otherwise polished outfit, that's a crack in the armor. It tells her your attention to detail has a ceiling, and she sees that ceiling before you even know she's looking. Clean leather, polished sole edges, intentional choice. It doesn't need to be a $700 Italian loafer from a Milanese atelier. It needs to look like you chose it, deliberately, with purpose. Shoes are the footnote of your appearance, and intelligent women always read the footnotes. Signal number 4. Your eye contact. Darting eyes signal anxiety. Staring signals aggression. Neither works. Both lose. What works is deliberate, calm, unhurried eye contact. Looking at her like you're not afraid of what she'll see when she looks back. Why does this matter so profoundly? Because eye contact is the most primal form of human vulnerability. When you hold someone's gaze, you are saying, without words, I am here, I see you, and I am not hiding. Research from the University of Aberdeen found that people are significantly more attractive when making direct eye contact than when looking away. Not slightly more, significantly. The eyes don't just communicate interest, they communicate rank. High-status individuals hold eye contact longer. Low-status individuals break it first. Women have been reading this hierarchy since before language existed. Hold eye contact 1 beat longer than comfortable. Not to intimidate, not to dominate. To communicate certainty, stillness, self-trust. Women don't fall for men who look away first. They notice the man who is settled behind his own gaze, who doesn't flinch, who isn't performing. That's not confidence, that's composure, and it's rarer than you think. Now here's the mistake most men make, and it's the reason this list even needs to exist. They think attraction is about adding more logos, more accessories, more cologne, more effort, more visible expense, more proof. The goal isn't to impress everyone in the room. It's to intrigue the right person, the one paying attention, the one who reads subtlety, the one who knows the difference between a man who's decorated and a man who's composed. Most men misunderstand this completely. They're optimizing for the wrong audience. Let's keep going, because the next 5 signals are where the real separation happens. Signal number 5. How your clothes fit. Not what you wear, how it fits. An inexpensive shirt that fits your shoulders perfectly will outperform a designer piece that hangs like a parachute every single time. Here's why fit matters more than brand, more than fabric, more than price, because fit communicates self-awareness. It tells her this man knows his body, he understands proportion. He made a deliberate choice to present himself with intention. Women don't see brand tags across a room. They can't read your label from 10 feet away. What they see are silhouettes. They see how fabric follows your body, with intention or without it. Baggy signals, carelessness, a man disconnected from his own image. Skin-tight signals, desperation, a man trying to force a narrative his body isn't telling. The sweet spot is structured ease, clothes that look like they were chosen for your specific body, not borrowed from a mannequin. One trip to a tailor, $15 for a hem, $20 for shoulder adjustments. That's all it takes to transform a $30 shirt into something that looks like $300. That's not style advice, that's a cheat code most men are too lazy to use. Signal number 6. Your voice pace. She hears your speed before she processes a single word. Fast talking signals nervousness. It signals a man who's afraid silence will swallow him whole. A man who feels he needs to earn attention by filling every gap, every pause, every breath with sound. Slow, measured speech, with deliberate pauses, signals authority, control, groundedness. It says, I don't rush because I don't need to. My words carry weight. I'll deploy them when I'm ready, not before. Why is this so powerful in the first 10 seconds? Because vocal pace is nearly impossible to fake under pressure. You can rehearse what you say. You can't easily rehearse how fast you say it. Speed leaks your true emotional state, and women are exceptionally calibrated to detect it. Think about every powerful man you've ever watched in an interview. They pause, they breathe, they let the silence work for them. The silence isn't empty, it's loaded. It communicates. I trust my own presence enough to let the room sit in it. In the first 10 seconds, your vocal pace tells her more about your internal status than your vocabulary, your stories, or your accomplishments ever could. You won't hear this in most style channels, but it might be the most important signal on this entire list. Signal number 7, your hands. Strange? Maybe. True? Absolutely. Women notice hands almost immediately. Research in evolutionary biology suggests this is hard hands signal capability, dexterity, strength, health, and care. For thousands of years, hands were how men built, protected, provided, and touched. They were, and still are, one of the most intimate parts of the male body visible in public. Dry, cracked, bitten nails, that's stress made visible. It's anxiety worn on the outside. Clean, moisturized hands with trimmed nails. That's a man who maintains what most men neglect. A man who pays attention to the edges, not just the center. And here's the unexpected layer. How you use your hands matters as much as how they look. Calm, controlled gestures signal poise and emotional regulation. Fidgeting, pocket stuffing, face touching, ring spinning, that's anxiety leaking out of your body in real time, and she registers every bit of it. Still hands, purposeful movement, open palms. That's the signal of a man who is settled inside his own skin. Signal number 8, your energy when you enter a room. This is the one that wraps everything together, the invisible umbrella over all 9 signals before it. Before she sees the watch, before she notices the shoes, before she catches the scent or clocks the posture, she feels your energy. Human beings are electromagnetic. We broadcast before we communicate. And women, backed by millennia of evolutionary pressure to rapidly assess threat and potential, are exceptionally tuned to this broadcast. Do you walk in scanning the room for approval, checking who's watching, adjusting yourself in response to external signals? Or do you walk in like you've already validated yourself, like the room is lucky to have you, not because you're arrogant, but because you're complete? Needy energy repels. It's suffocating. It takes from the room. Grounded energy attracts. It gives. It stabilizes. It makes others feel safe and drawn in simultaneously. It's not arrogance. Arrogance is loud and fragile. It's self-possession, quiet, settled, unshakable, earned through lived experience, not rehearsed in a mirror. The man who walks in unhurried, stands comfortably in his own body, takes up space without apology and without performance. That man doesn't need to say a word. His entrance is the introduction. Now let's be brutally honest about what happens when you ignore these signals. You blend in, you become background noise, you become another forgettable man in a rotating cast of forgettable men, wearing the same shapeless clothes, projecting the same nervous energy, giving the same darting glances, smelling like the same drugstore body spray. You won't even know it happened. She won't tell you. There's no feedback form, no rejection speech. She'll just move on, without a word, without an explanation, without a second thought. You'll never know you were evaluated. You'll never know you failed. That's not cruelty. That's biology operating at speed. Humans are wired to filter fast because survival once depended on it. 10 seconds isn't arbitrary. It's generous. But here's the flip side, and this is where it gets genuinely powerful. The man who nails even 5 of these 10 signals, he doesn't compete. He separates. He becomes the anomaly in a sea of sameness. The one she looks at twice, the one she thinks about an hour later, a day later, a week later. Not because of what he said, because of what he projected. Not because he tried harder, because he was more intentional. That's the difference between a man who chases attention and a man who commands presence. And presence, real, earned, grounded presence, is the most attractive thing a man can ever wear. No designer label comes close. Now, before you leave this video and start optimizing every external detail, there's something critical we need to address. And if you skip this part, everything above becomes a performance, a mask, a costume that eventually falls apart. Here's the truth most style channels will never tell you. First impressions are powerful, but they are not permanent. A well-dressed man with hollow character will always be exposed. Maybe not in 10 seconds, maybe not in 10 minutes, but in 10 conversations, 10 dates, 10 months, the facade crumbles. Guaranteed. You can wear the perfect fragrance, the perfect watch, the perfect shoes, and still lose the room the moment people realize there's nothing behind the presentation. That the packaging was the entire product. Style opens the door. Character is what makes people invite you to stay. A woman might notice your posture, your grooming, your scent in the first 10 seconds. But what she'll remember in 10 years is how you made her feel safe, how you listened, genuinely listened, without waiting for your turn to speak, how you kept your word when it was inconvenient, how you treated the waiter, how you handled conflict, how you showed up when nobody was watching and there was nothing to gain. That's not something you can buy at a department store. That's not something a tailor can adjust. That's built through years of discipline, honesty, failure, accountability, and growth. The signals on this list? They're the trailer. Your character is the film. And no amount of niche fragrance or Italian leather can substitute for integrity, for emotional intelligence, for genuine kindness that isn't performed for an audience, for the kind of quiet strength that doesn't need a mirror to confirm its existence. The most impressive men in history weren't remembered for what they wore. They were remembered for what they stood for, how they treated people, the weight of their word, the consistency of their actions when the room was empty and the cameras were off. So yes, master these signals. Use them. They matter. First impressions are real, and they create real opportunities. But never forget, impressions can change. A weak first impression can be overwritten by extraordinary character. A man who stumbles through the first 10 seconds but then demonstrates depth, humor, reliability, and genuine warmth will eclipse the polished man who peaked at his entrance. And a flawless first impression can be destroyed by revealed emptiness. The man who looks the part but can't sustain it, who's all surface and no foundation, doesn't just disappoint. He repels, because the gap between expectation and reality is the most unattractive thing in existence. The real formula isn't look good, smell good, stand tall. The real formula is become the man the presentation promises. Build the character first, then let the style reflect what's already real. A great watch on the wrist of a dishonest man is just expensive metal. A clean scent on a man who treats people poorly is just perfumed disrespect. Polished shoes on a man who can't keep his commitments are just shiny leather walking in circles. But a man of depth, a man of integrity, a man who is kind without weakness, confident without arrogance, disciplined without rigidity. Put a good fragrance on that man, and it's not cologne anymore. It's aura. Put a fitted suit on that man, and it's not fabric anymore. It's armor. Put composure in that man's eyes, and it's not eye contact anymore. It's gravity. The style amplifies what's already there. It doesn't create it. So build yourself from the inside out. Read, reflect, fail forward. Keep promises, especially the ones you make to yourself. Develop emotional intelligence. Practice empathy that costs you something. Become the kind of man that other men respect and women trust, not because of what you project, but because of what you are. Then, and only then, does everything on this list become truly dangerous, because a good man, well presented, is the rarest thing in any room. And that's what she notices, not in the first 10 seconds. But in every second that follows. She noticed you before you noticed her noticing. The question was never whether she'd look. The question is, what did she see? And more importantly, what will she find when she looks deeper? Presence isn't loud, it's intentional. But presence without substance is just a performance with an expiration date. Build the man first, then dress him. Subscribe for more strategies that separate average from elite, not just in style, but in substance.